Tune your bow. So most bows, after 2020, a lot of the bows had models where you could do a certain amount of self-tuning on them, meaning that you could tune the bow, you could change the draw length on them, you could wind up and wind down your poundages. You could do a lot to them without needing a bow press. But most of the bows, to get incredibly accurate, are going to need a bow press. Sometimes when they come directly out of a factory straight to you, brand new bows, it might only take a few small tweaks. But the reality is, a lot of them, when you tune them up, they do need the bow press to make it fully set up and ready for you, especially if you're having to change like a lot of the things to it. Now, once again, I'm not like majorly technical with this, and hence why I do just go to someone like Ian Summers or go into a shop and get them to tune it for you. Or for me, this is the way I've always gone about it. I've gone to like Shane Chater before from Bowhunter's Domain. I've gone to Ian Summers before. I've gone to what's Jake's last name? Gasprowski before, taken it into shops before and gone to them to get it tuned. Gone to many different people with my different bows over the different years to have my bows set up so they're shooting better, which means that also when you change from your field points to your broadheads, that they're shooting accurately as well. Because if you do not tune your bow and you shoot with broadheads on the front of your arrows, what you'll find is that your arrows do not shoot the same way. And you'll go to, for instance, this is always why you should also test your arrows when you build out your hunting arrow. You should test them on targets before you go out hunting, because especially when you get to the location where you're going to go hunt, you should go and test your arrows are shooting well, because otherwise what happens is you go out and you do all the effort to stalk in on an animal and you'll end up doing a misfire, shooting wrong. And it's not a nice way to find out that your arrow's off tune after you've worked and done all the effort to get there. But yeah, so tuning your bow, what I would really recommend is, if you're not going to go in and figure it all out yourself and watch online courses or watch a lot of YouTube content to figure out how to do it, there is some episodes that I did with Scott. I can't remember the numbers. I'll put it in the show notes. But with Scotty Meadows, we talked about how he goes through his self-tuning process, and he does it all from home. He does use a bow press though. So a bow press is essentially a way that takes the pressure off of the limbs, being like the top parts of the bow. So it takes the pressure off the limbs so you can remove the cables or the strings and maneuver them and do the things that you need to do to make sure that the bow is in tune. There's a lot to it in regards to making sure that your cams, which is like the big wheels on them, the timing of them is in time, weirdly enough. The timing of the cams is in alignment, because otherwise, if they're not, that's when you'll see that your bow shoots weirdly, for instance, okay? There's a lot to it in regards to, how that works. So that's where I'd really recommend pay the money, get your bow tuned by someone to make it just work properly, and have it done from word go. You will need to know like your draw length if you're going to send it to, say, someone like Summers, because they will need to set it up based on you and your size. So that's just something to think about. If you are sending it away, you're going to need to know your draw length. But yeah, in regards to the bow tuning stuff, there is a lot online. You can definitely learn how to do it through YouTube channels, but you are probably going to need a bow press to make it happen, just so you completely understand that side of it. And that's why I just prefer to send it to someone.